natural ingredients that you can use on your skin to lighten and brighten the skin, to clear the skin of pigmentation, to remove dead skin cells, and also to reduce wrinkles and fine lines on the skin. Today I'm going to share one such ingredient with you. And this is an ingredient that most of you probably already have in your kitchen, and it is none other than the tomato. What I'm going to do for you today, I'm going to use it to make a facial wash that can be double as a scrub and also as a facial mask. So if you're interested in seeing how I use the tomato to cleanse, brighten, lighten my skin, follow me to the kitchen. I'm going to share the recipe with you really quick, and I'm also going to share some tips on how to get the best result from using this on your skin. For this recipe, you're going to need a small blender or a grater. Today we're going to be using tomato. I'm using plum tomato. However, you can use any type of tomato you have once it is ripe tomato. Tomato is rich in lycopene, which help to lighten, brighten, clear pigmentation on the skin. It is great for oil-prone skin. It is also great for getting rid of dead skin cells on the skin. I'm going to be using a half of the tomato. You can choose to use tomato directly on the skin. Just cut it, rub it on the skin, and this is going to help to clear the grease, the dirt from the skin, and also the hyperpigmentation. Great to use as a facial wash or as an exfoliator. So what we're going to do with the tomato, we're going to chop it in small pieces for easier blending. Now, if you do not have a blender, you can choose to grate the tomato or crush the tomato. What we're looking for is the juice of the tomato. I have a blender, so I'm going to chop mine and then I'm going to place it in the blender. So let's reach for our blender and place your tomato in the blender. We are not going to add any liquid to this. The tomato is going to produce its own liquid, so go ahead and blend as is. After blending, we're going to strain to get rid of any lumps. You can choose to use a strainer to strain, or you can use a cheesecloth. Now take a look. Here we have our tomato juice, and this is what we're going to use to make our facial mask / a facial wash. I'm going to be reaching for some rose water, and rose water is very hydrating to the skin. I like to use the rose water with the tomato to help balance the acid from the tomato. So I'm using about a teaspoon or so of the rose water. Add this to the bowl with the tomato. We have about 2 tablespoons of the tomato puree. And now we're going to mix, and we're going to mix well. We're mixing rose water and tomato. Next, I'm going to reach for some oil, and my oil of choice is coconut oil. Coconut oil will help to lock that moisture in the skin. It is also one of the better oil to use for clearing hyperpigmentation on the skin. When you mix the coconut oil with the tomato, it's going to create an amazing skin brightener, skin polisher for your skin. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of the coconut oil. Little goes a long way. If you do not have coconut oil and you have sweet almond oil or even a bit of olive oil or grapeseed oil, you can use it instead of the coconut oil. However, my preferred choice is coconut oil. And now we are mixing, and we are mixing well. Now let's reach for my final ingredient, and here I have some yogurt, rich in lactic acid, help to clear dead skin cells from the surface of the skin, help to clear wrinkles and fine lines, help to hydrate the skin. It makes a perfect facial mask, facial scrub, facial wash, and when you mix it with the tomato, it creates a very powerful skin brightening remedy. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of the yogurt. Pour this in. Now you can choose to add milk to this recipe. If you do not have the yogurt, use a tablespoon of milk instead. So totally blend the ingredient together. We're blending tomato, rose water, coconut oil, and yogurt. Now continue to mix. Make sure to get rid of all the lumps. You might be wondering why I didn't just blend this in the blender. That is because it would be way too light, and if you want to use it as a facial mask, you need it to be on the thicker side. However, if you're just using it as a wash, you can go ahead and blend it in the blender. Now, once this is done, we're going to pour in a storage jar. Any sterilized storage jar will do. So go ahead and pour this in. And now take a look. Here we have our tomato yogurt facial wash slash facial mask. Now, before you use this, go ahead and chill it for about an hour or so. When you apply it cold on the skin, you get even better results. So place it in your refrigerator, let it chill, and then it is ready to use on the skin. You're going to apply this on clean skin. So wash your face, especially if you wear makeup. Get rid of all that makeup before, and then you rub your face with this just as you're washing your face with your regular cleanser. Apply it to your face, your neck, and your décolleté. Wash your face with it for about a minute or two, and then you can go back in and you can take a bit more, rub it all over your face, then you let it sit on the skin for at least 30 minutes, and then you rinse off. Now, if you want to use this just as a facial wash or an exfoliator, just apply it to your skin, scrub your skin with it for at least a minute or two, rinse off, and reveal beautiful skin. This is great to use as a facial mask 2 to 3 times per week. As a facial wash, you can choose to use it every day on the skin. Now, because we use the yogurt in this, you may need to use this up within 3 days. However, you can choose to make the tomato base, and just before you use it, you go ahead and you add the yogurt, which will give you a longer shelf life. Now take a look. You can clearly see how bright my hands are looking just from demonstrating for you. Now definitely, guys, go ahead and make this, whip it up, make it your own, and use it for a week or two, and then come back and share your comment.